A reading from Second Book of Kings. The king of Assyria invaded all the land and came to Samaria. For 3 years he besieged it. In the 9th year of Hosea, the king of Assyria captured Samaria. He carried the Israelites away to Syria. He placed them in Hala, on the Habor, the river Gozan, and in the cities of the Medes. This occurred because the people of Israel had sinned against the Lord their God, who had brought them up out of the land of Egypt from under the hand of Pharaoh, king of Egypt. They had worshipped other gods and walked in the customs of the nations whom the Lord drove out before the people of Israel. Yet the Lord warned Israel and Judah by every prophet and every seer, saying, "Turn from your evil ways and keep my commandments and my statutes, in accordance with all the law that I have commanded your ancestors, and that I sent to you by my servants, the prophets." They would not listen, but were stubborn, as their ancestors had been, who did not believe in the Lord their God. They despised his statutes and his covenant that he made with their ancestors, and the warnings that he gave them. Therefore the Lord was angry with Israel and removed them out of his sight. None was left but the tribe of Judah alone. Many Christians wonder what would happen to the world experiencing so many changes everywhere. As for religion, the world is on the course of irreligionist. Especially against Christianity, Western societies have been campaigning demoralization over a century now. Family, work, and all social relationships are demanded of secularization, meaning no more Christian ways of living. It is not uncommon to face hostility to Christian faith even within Christian families. Watching all these dreadful changes, we fear for a certain disastrous future. The first reading today summarizes a similar situation. The nation called out to be God's people no longer had faith in the covenant with God. They served other gods of neighboring nations and practiced their immoral customs. And Israel became just one of the nations in Palestine drawn into the vortex of international power struggles. From the invasion of the Assyrian Empire to the expansion of the Persian Empire, the fate of the people of Israel was in the hands of their conquerors. Many of them were scattered and lost their ethnic and religious identity for good. Only a small remnant kept their faith in God. Ironically, through these miserable years, Israel realized their true identity as God's chosen people. These years saw the final form of the Old Testament produced by Israel's spiritual leaders. Because of this bitter experience, Israel could open its eyes to the Messiah. I believe we will repeat the fate of the people of the Old Covenant, or we are already undergoing a similar course. Christians are God's chosen people, but many of us have already accepted and have been practicing idolatry and immorality of the world. Many Christians have lost their Christian identity. They voluntarily gave up their citizenship of the kingdom of heaven. It should be no surprise if we face today systemic discrimination against faithful Christians. Probably we won't be able to change the current course of anti-Christianity and secularism. But what is important for us is this: we can still choose to be the remnant of hope. It is not a Christian concern to build a prosperous nation in this world. Our purpose in life is to reach the eternal kingdom. Then there can be nothing to sadden our hearts amid all these confusions. We are just another turn of our journey toward that kingdom.